Okay. Oh yeah, I see the record button. Okay. So, hello. Today we're going to be talking about um why is this telling me this? Okay. Starting over right now. So today we're going to be talking about career development in special needs populations. This will include individuals with developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, and learning disabilities, sensory impairments, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, and serious and persistent mental illness. As career counselors, our role goes for like way beyond helping people find jobs. We're going to help clients identify their strengths, overcome barriers, advocate for themselves, find meaningful careers that align with their interests, values, and abilities. But before discussing these theories and interventions, it's important to understand that the populations we serve and the factors that influence career development. Um, so the this slide really summarizes the philosophy behind modern career counseling. One of the biggest shifts in our field has been moving away from asking what's wrong with this person, but instead asking what barriers exist and what strengths can we build upon. Diagnosis provide really good information that help us understand how to best support our clients, but they should never determine a person's like vocational potential. Our role is to identify strengths, reduce barriers, promote self determination, and support meaningful employment opportunities. Individual factors, these are examples that may influence career development. It's important to remember that these are possible influences rather than characters of every individual. For example, executive functioning may affect planning and organization. Communication differences may influence interviewing or teamwork, and transportation challenges can limit employment opportunities. Career counselors assess each person's unique strengths, interests, and support needs rather than making assumptions based on the diagnosis. And then there's environmental factors. And these are often just as important as individual factors. Many barriers to employment are not caused by the disability itself, but by the environment surrounding the individual. So these barriers can employer stigma, inaccessible workplaces, limited educational opportunities, lack of accommodations, transportation challenges, and limited community resources. One of our roles is to help clients identify barriers when advocating for solutions that promote equal access to employment opportunities. So recognizing individual strengths in each person, I think, is super important, not only in this everybody, but while each diagnosis may present unique challenges, every population also brings valuable strengths into the workplace. For example, individuals with autism might demonstrate exceptional attention to detail and consistency. Individuals with ADHD often bring creativity, adaptability, and high energy. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities frequently demonstrate reliability and strong work ethics. Individuals with physical disabilities often develop resilience and excellent problem solving skills, while those living with serious mental illness may bring empathy, insight, and perseverance. As counselors, we intentionally help clients recognize and build upon these strengths. And our roles, we like actually play a really important role in helping clients achieve meaningful employment. Rather than ask in making decisions for clients, we empower them to identify their own goals and advocate for themselves. We use strength-based assessments, collaborate with families and community agencies, advocate for accommodations when appropriate, and support clients through their career development. um, our goal is to help clients build confidence while increasing opportunities for their success. And then there is the career development across lifespan. So it's a lifelong process. During childhood, we're encouraged to explore and build confidence and discover our interests. And then during adolescence, the focus shifts towards transition planning. career exploration, work experience, and self advocacy. And then as adults, career development continues through obtaining that employment, advancing with our careers, utilizing workplace accommodations when needed, and pursuing lifelong learning. Career counseling isn't about helping someone get one job, it's about supporting meaningful career development throughout their entire life. Um, Now that we've discussed the populations we serve and the factors that influence career development, Tyler's going to discuss what current research tells us is, the theories and guide our work. Go ahead, Tyler. Tyler, you're muted.
Dang it. Oh my
It's
gosh.
and then we got to just uh, flip the slide. Do you want me to flip it for you, or do you want to?
Oh, it doesn't do it for you? Okay. Can you click it, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What a blunder.
you can take control. I think too at the top, maybe.
Found it.
Yep. Cool.
Perfect. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to look at some of the literature that backs up some of the strength-based perspectives that we're talking about from working with career options for people with special needs. And then it also sort of identifies the barriers that are observable over time. And I guess one of them we'll start with would be the Liu article, but that one basically looks at how 48 different studies confirmed college students have higher employment rates for peers without disabilities than for peers with disabilities. So basically, they're noticing the trend is that even if somebody has higher education, if they have special needs, they're going to be at a lower outcome likelihood for the career either that they want or that they were shooting for compared to somebody who doesn't. Um, there's also studies that look more into multicultural lenses, so African American people with disabilities. It was found that if they were given an opportunity to look at self-efficacy, then they actually persisted towards their goals of career options. So what that means is they studied African Americans with disabilities who were not given career assessment instrument tools, and then they gave some career instrument assessment tools. And then the people who actually took the time to figure out this is something I could be successful at compared to this is something I want to be doing actually got more odds of their career choice. The last article would be, how do I pronounce? Appling. And that one was talking similarly to the self-efficacy goals and the outcomes. Another college grounds centered study. Um, but it was again showing how people have a more positive belief about their career options if they go through career assessments. The support that comes with having a career counselor makes people more likely to sort through some of their hesitations, and all of that is from the last few years. So, pretty relevant stuff. And then theories, moving on to theories, more big words. So we got Gottfriedsen's model, which is about circumscription and compromise. But what that really means is going through the process in life of your needs and abilities change throughout time. And so somebody with a disability maybe has different levels of barriers at a younger age than they might in their middle age years. And then as they go into those later stage years, there might be different accommodations that are needed. So instead of feeling like maybe one is stuck when they go into their career assessment and seeing this is my current level of ability, we want to be mindful that we're assessing that over time so that the person can keep their doors open. Um, then there's also Super's lifespan, life space theory. Um, that one is also what I meant to be talking about when I just talked about circumscription and compromise. That's awesome. But what stands out in the Gottfriedson one is that people who were more encouraged to look at their strengths and barriers follow through with career goals. I feel like the themes are pretty common. If someone can look at what they want to do, then they're going to be more confident in it. If they're just shooting in the dark and they don't know anybody or they don't know that they have the abilities to do it, then they're going to be more discouraged. So the last piece there that I'll talk to on theories is social cognitive career. That is going to be the one where people understand this is what I'm interested in, this is what I'm able to do, and then align it in that way. So, and they all kind of overlap. Am I good at it? Do I have the level of interest that would keep me engaged? And is there any barriers that I would need to clear? But from what I've seen, the barriers are mostly just lack of knowledge. I wouldn't say lack of education, but lack of knowledge of what is an option. So help these individuals' special needs keep an open mind and remind them of their strengths. And I think that'll create more likelihood of the career they want.
All right, I'll be talking about strategies, interventions, and community agencies and resources. So first, I just want to mention, talk about stigma, because this population often faces like negative attitudes with beliefs and stereotypes and judgment that impact career development trajectory. And individuals with disabilities historically have been disempowered and oppressed from making autonomous decisions in their life. And so this is where self-determination theory comes in, to promote that autonomy. And that can be used with youth and adults. So to foster an autonomous, supportive environment, it really emphasizes establishing respect, curiosity, exploration, free choice, and encourages the individuals to be a part of the decision-making process. And although it does focus on autonomy, it's also important for the counselors to provide all the necessary information and tools. And furthermore, with some of the interventions through this lens, it encourages to explore how peers and parents have influenced autonomy around career, and also emphasizes active listening and reflecting that fosters personal awareness and autonomy, and also encourages exploring values and connecting these values to psychological needs with career interests, skills, and emotions. And it's also important to therapeutically process any internalized stigma around oppression. And it fosters collaboration with clients to create achievable goals and the steps towards career development. And then counselors must be flexible because there could be health or psychological issues that may arise as a result of one's disability. But the biggest takeaway from this lens is promoting autonomy and empowerment. So some of the community resources that I've found, these are all in Eugene. So first I have vocational rehab, and that's with the Department of Human Services. It's federally funded and by the state. It supports independence and provides career-related services to youth and adults with disabilities ranging from physical, mental, or health-related. And they and with that, it's like helping individuals finding a job, starting a career, or finding a new career, and even helps people who already have a job and they need to keep it. And there's no income requirements. And also another cool thing about vocational rehab is there's assistive technology. So for example, like someone could get like speech to text technology if that is a barrier for work. And then there's the ARC, Lane County, that they have the employability program, and that's for adults 18 or older with intellectual or developmental disabilities, and it focuses on building skills and self-confidence, and there's job development and coaching. And then there's the McKinsey Personnel Systems. It's very person-centered and collaborative. It helps, it focuses on individuals with barriers to employment and includes job coaching and building skills. And then there's Reality Kitchen, and that's for ages 18 to 25 with intellectual or developmental disabilities who are not enrolled in transition services through their school district. And it teaches food safety, kitchen safety, different cooking methods, teaches hospitality and customer service. And then the Pearl Buck Center, they have a community employment program for adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities, and it helps with job placement and job coaching and skills and independence and increasing self-confidence. And yeah, there's our references.